Well, since Veterans Day is coming up, we thought it was appropriate to share this next story with you. It's about a Nashville historian who uncovered the personal stories of 6 young men from Nashville who served their country and made the ultimate sacrifice. Tressa Bush meets this guy who's determined to keep the memories alive of these unsung heroes.
Newspaper articles, medals, pictures, letters, telegrams. These are just a few of the many items that tell the stories of when, where, and how 60 young Nashville men died during World War II. Each one of them attended East High School. And believe it or not, the man who compiled all of this, Steve Schmolt, had no connection to the school.
It was just out of curiosity to start this, but once I started meeting the people that were intimately involved with, with the war, with these guys, it's a remarkable group of people. I couldn't break away.
The curiosity Steve is talking about began in 1999 while he was working at a Nashville cemetery. He was asked to repair a marker where World War II soldier William Lancaster was buried. For 5 years, Steve placed a flag on the soldier's grave. Then in 2004, for no apparent reason, Steve decided he needed to know more about this man.
Come to find out that William Lancaster was the very first boy that went to East High that died during the war. So I thought, well, this is getting really interesting. And then inside the book, it listed all the other boys that went to East High that died during the war. And I thought, well, I found Lancaster's picture in the paper. I said, and I've got this whole list of names. I said, I thought to myself, I'd like to start putting faces with all these names.
Steve's research took him to a representative of the East High School Alumni Association, who told him that if he was going to do this story justice, he had to read a book entitled Dear Joe. It's a compilation of school newspaper articles written by a man named William Oliver, who was the principal of East High School during the war years. Some of the articles were uplifting as the principal chronicled what was going on at the high school. Others were sad, like the times he reported one of the students had been killed or was missing in the war. As you can imagine, when Steve got a hold of the book, he could not put it down. It solidified his quest to put faces to every single name. And it made him realize that Principal Oliver was the 61st person who'd forever be linked to the boys of East High School.
William Henry Oliver was such a gifted writer. He was an English teacher before he became the principal of East High. It'll just move you. That book will move you to tears, especially when he writes around Christmas time and the boys away from home and stuff like that, or when he reports on one of his students that went off to war and got killed. It's very, very touching.
Later, Steve went to the Metro Archives office in Green Hills to see what else he could find. And that's when he met archivist Ken Feith, who jumped at the chance to help out.
But this, for me, had a really special point to it because I'm so interested in World War II, and he really kind of draws you in. And he was on this hunt for this material, and he had gone and did a lot of research on his own as far as the National Archives and other places to run down all the people from that school. He's done a whole lot of work, and he's just handing it over to the archives, and it's really amazing.
While we were taping these interviews, something very special happened. Several East High School graduates came in to see the archives for the very first time.
This is Steve Schmolt.
Wrong reporter. Very happy to meet you.
He's put all this together.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
You're the one who did it.
Yes, sir.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad you like it.
It took some time.
Yeah, about 4 years.
4 years that Steve says he wouldn't trade for anything in the world. And to think, it all started out of curiosity over one grave marker belonging to a soldier he never knew.
I like what I've done, but what I've done is nothing compared to what these guys have done, and that's what I want. You know, that's what I try to tell everybody. It's really not about me, it's about these guys. Because, you know, it's an amazing group of people. When you read all the different individual stories of these guys and how they were spread around the world and what they were all involved in, and then to think that they all came out of one high school in one city. Except for the individual families that knew these little stories, they would be lost to the world if someone wasn't able to bring them all together and just say, look, this is what one group of kids from one high school did. They saved the world.
If these 60 men can see you, what do you hope they are saying about you?
Just thanks. I hope they just say thanks. I mean, I wish I could tell them, you know, you guys did it. You won. You won. And you made us be able to live in the place that we do now.